Are you a person that experienced some big feelings while watching a movie about a character that had big feelings? If so, then you're going to want to watch and check out the rest of this video, which is reviewing Pixar slash Disney's latest feature film, Turning Red, featuring my friend Jen Hurler. Jen Hurler is here with me today, which also I feel like is a great person to talk about this movie with, because Jen herself is such a fangirl, I feel like, in so many capacities and facets. So I'm sure, much like me, you could relate to May in this movie. So just real short, the movie was directed by Domi Shi. It's an hour and 40 minutes long. This is really important information that I found out just before recording this, that she was born in 87. So that makes her also a millennial. She's just from Canada. So when I was watching the film, I was feeling like this is too dialed in. And I was thinking, I guess I never even really seen her. Like, I may have seen her, but not actually processed the individual I was looking at. So I definitely thought she was like early 40s or like mid 40s or something.
I'm excited for her.
No, but I was like, there's just no way,
Yeah.
And then so seeing that she was in 87, she's just essentially 2 years older than us.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh my God. And this is her first like feature film directorial debut. That's so huge, because that's something that I feel like, one, if you're a woman, one, if you're just like not, well, she's an animator, right? But anyways, if you're just like a woman, it just feels like that's something you can't really achieve until you are in your mid 40s.
Yeah.
So that's why I just assumed that, right? Even with her short, I don't know why I just never paid attention to like, she's youthful, like no offense to other people, and she's probably closer to my proximity than I like realized. But I feel like that kind of um added fuel or whatever to my own career ambitions, because I'm like, oh my gosh, she's like within arm's
Yeah, like our
distance,
contemporary. Yeah.
yeah, like literally. And if she can do that, then like maybe I don't have to wait until I'm 60 to like
What a
be
concept.
be up there,
Yeah.
So anywho, it's an American film. Jen, what was your first impression when you watched it? Also, did you watch it more than once yet?
I watched it twice and it held up. Not that I didn't think it would. Honestly, I was more scared about like the trailers and stuff, because it was like building up like my dream childhood movie, and then I was scared it wasn't going to live up to it. And then, to be fair, the hype on Twitter was a lot, especially obviously after it came out. And I feel like there's often like a lot of backlash when, something gets hyped up a lot and people ironically love something and very earnestly love something, that there's always like detractors. But for me, it's like very much like held up, and it's like I adored it. I was smiling like dopey smile the whole time I was watching it for the first time. Yeah, I related to it so much, and it was like, it's such a gift to have that. Yeah, to have like a film directed by someone close to our age, and that felt like it was really her film. Um, like it wasn't like a film by committee. It wasn't some like 50-year-old white dude who is talking about being a dad, something like, not that, there's just still relatable, but like this was like so focused. And because it was so focused, it's like the more, I don't know, like Bong Joon-ho once said something about like, the universal is like the most relatable, like something along those lines. And it's like, this is so it for me.
Yeah, I feel like when I first watched it, I watched it with my cousins who, so it's like three millennials and a Gen Z. Like that's even the name of one of our group chats. And the Gen Z cousin, like she felt not so distant or removed from the movie because she saw us going through all the things. So it was for her just pretty entertaining seeing it like on a screen. But I remember like Monday coming back to work, and I was like, yeah, I saw Turning Red. And they were like, oh, how was it? And if you think about it, these are all people that like, they were starting their careers on like the first Toy Story or something like that. Like, these are people who were like in college when Who Framed Roger Rabbit came out, right? So just to give some proximity to like the age difference. So I'm here like, well, it's about a girl who was 13 in 2002. And like my mind exploded because I was like, I was 13 in 2002. And I'm here like, Yes, I was that obsessed of like Backstreet Boys and like B2K and like watching TRL and all these music video shows and like, the I don't think I was obsessively drawing
Mhm.
them in particular, but I also had like a little sketchbook that like I kept to myself with like my writings and whatever. And I was the one that had the posters, like the pop culture. And then
Total
there's
Pop
two, because there's
was
like
your
pop culture and then there's like urban culture. So I had the diaspora of like pop people all on my bedroom wall. So I was like, yes, I am completely here for this.
Mhm.
But they were like, I'm so happy like you enjoyed it. And I was just like, no, my mind was going through so many things because now we're like, when we were growing up, we were so used to seeing movies, I guess, about like the 70s and the 80s. And then now we're going to start seeing movies about like the 2000s.
Yeah.
And we can be like, well, we were alive for that actually.
Yeah.
And like, that's not accurate or whatever. Like, you know how some stores, they're bringing back like velour tracksuits and you're like, what are you
Yeah.
doing?
It's like
But also, I want a pair because I miss that.
those were comfy and yeah.